Hi guys, what is up? Another day, it's another get ready with me. Ba-da-bow. So today's video is a get ready with me, but I'm kind of gonna be doing it in a bit of a different style, sort of. So I'm not really gonna be showing you the products. You can see them on screen. I might put them on screen while editing if I feel like it, because it's more of a chit chat type of video. I don't want this headband. So the sort of overarching sort of theme for this video is, okay, I'm just gonna tell you what this video is. So it's 19 things that I've learned at 19. I'm sorry, I'm blind. I'm gonna keep having to go like this, sadly. Okay, but I haven't done any of my skin preps, so we are gonna do that. Ooh, spritz. Oh, I also did get a new toner. I will show you this. It's the hydrating toner from First Aid Beauty, which is like super exciting. And I just kind of put it on my hands because I don't like using like the pads, and then I just kind of but as I'm doing my skincare, I'll talk about the first thing, which is a part of the 19 things I've learned at 19. It's really cringy, but it's very fresh in the new year, and I felt like sharing all this. But number one, and it's at the top of my list for a reason, but it's that the family you're born into isn't necessarily your family. Sometimes found family is your real family. And this one's really important to me because last year, it's currently 2024, but last year I moved out of my home, which I feel like I've talked about, but like not into depth. And it's because I was having issues at home, and it just wasn't really a safe environment for me. And ever since moving out, a lot of my family hasn't really been there for me, I guess. Besides my brother, whom I love and adore till death do us apart. Literally love my brother so much. But my family's been saying a lot of negative things about me. And that really did hurt, and it still hurts, and I cry about it quite often. I'm a crybaby, by the way. But yeah, I found that my friends who are my found family, I adore them so much, but they're the ones who have really been there for me. Like, they've been here for me through like thick and thin, and all my friends are like, Leo, if you need help cleaning, if you want to decorate, like literally just hit us up. And a lot of them, like, for example, like I'll call Serena at like midnight and she'll pick up the phone because I need her. And that's just kind of like a thing where, like, the saying is like the blood of the covenant is thicker than the wine of the womb, and I think that's true, which just essentially means that the people that you choose to hang out with are significantly like more important than the people who are blood related to you. I thought that was just kind of an important thing to share because it's really just important about me. Yeah, but like my family speaking negatively about me really does hurt my feelings, but I love my friends. I love all my found family. They're the loves of my lives. And for any of you who are watching this and also live in toxic households, just know that it does get better. You just, at the end of the day, do have to put yourself first, and it's just gonna be like that. But okay, let's move on to the next one. I feel like this is a really deep video and it might be a long one, but I'm sorry. Okay, so the next one is that it's okay not to be good at everything, even if you really want to. So yeah, so it's okay not to be good at everything, even if you really want to be. This is something that I've struggled with for a long time, where I really want to be good at everything I do, but that's just realistically not true. For example, in the summer last year, I had taken stats and I wanted to be good at stats, and I wanted to like it, but I just realistically wasn't, and that's okay. We all have our strengths and weaknesses, and we just kind of have to recognize that. Yeah, this one isn't that deep, but like I realize that like we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's gonna be good at everything that they do in life, and that's okay. That's why we're all different, because if everyone were perfect, then like the world would be such like a boring place. And the next one is that you shouldn't be afraid to be who you are. Yeah, so I also added like little notes. So learned in uni and have grown so much since high school. So in high school I was really afraid to be who I was, especially in terms of my queerness and my identity, especially as I was figuring out my gender identity and everything, and like just the things that I like. Like I was very sort of ashamed of like my ethnicity and things of the sort, and I didn't really want to express it as much as I do now. And like in uni, I've grown so much. I'm such a different person than I was before. Like before I didn't do my makeup because I didn't want, like, for example, like girls at my high school to be like, oh, you're wearing makeup, like, girl, you're trying too much. And I went to an all girls high school, which also somehow plays, I guess, sort of a role into things. But yeah, but even now in uni, like, I have really bad anxiety, so I tend to overthink things and think that people are watching me, and I really hate the thought of being perceived. It's something that I struggle with to this day. And yeah, I'm just really just trying to be like the most authentic version of myself, and I think that I'm slowly becoming that, especially with like learning more about my own queerness, my identity as like a Latino and stuff, and just like really not caring what others think of you at the end of the day is going to make you the happiest. But next we're going to start with my base makeup. I'm really experimenting today because I don't have anywhere to go, so which means I can just do my makeup for fun, which is nothing that I've like ever actually done, because I'm like, well, why am I gonna do my makeup if I'm just gonna be at home? But like it's like the easiest way to like literally experiment with like new styles and stuff. So we're doing that. But as I do my base makeup, I'm gonna move on to the next one. Oh, people drift apart, and that's okay. That's number 4. And I've learned that a lot throughout the past year, 2 years, ever since I left high school. I graduated in. I am in my 2nd year, and I've learned that a lot. I remember at graduation, we were all like, oh guys, we'll like still keep in contact. Like, I love you guys so much, da 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 da. And we cried a lot. Like, you'd be surprised how much me and my friends all like cried at grad and at senior sunset and everything, and I don't talk to half of those people anymore, which is like super insane, because like to me, like these people like were my world at the time. And I've lost a lot of friends. Like, I now don't actually talk to anyone that I did in high school, besides like the occasional couple of people here and there, but I wouldn't really consider us friends anymore, which is like a hard thing to learn. And I had a really bad falling out last year with one of my friends, because like she was kind of like the only person that I still talk to from my high school, and she sort of stopped putting an effort into our friendship, and I brought that up to her multiple times, how I didn't feel valued. And during our last conversation where I had brought this up, she left me on like delivered for days, and then when she did respond, all she said was, "Aw, sorry, Leo," which was like super duper invalidating. And at the time I was super upset by it, because we do go to the same university, and like it's inevitable for us to like occasionally have like classes together, but it's inevitable. But I just kind of learned that people drift apart, and that's fine. And if people aren't going to be putting in the same effort into the friendship or relationship, then you really shouldn't either. Anyways, now that that's done, I feel like doing a full beat, because why not? Also, why is my beauty blender crusty? But we're going in with my Too Faced Born This Way foundation. But number 5 is that academics and grades do not define you. And the side note is, uni humbled me. Uni is a humbling experience. In high school, I would have like died if I got a 70, guys. I would have been like, ooh, I failed. And like, I'm still like that now. Like, but I'm like, hold on. Grades most certainly do not define you guys. In high school, I was like, I've always been a straight A student. I've been very good at school since like forever, because I always knew that I wanted to pursue a career in academia somewhere. Hopefully that's still somewhat the plan. I think I want to get a master's and then a PhD eventually, or become a lawyer. But what's it called? I used to put so much value into my own like personal value was very much based on my grades. And if I didn't get an A, then I saw myself in a very negative light, which is not healthy in any way, shape, or form. Please do not do that. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, and that's like a big thing to know, where like I very much like suck at like stats, and I know that, and I didn't do as well as I would have liked to in that class. But hey, like this year I got a 60 on the midterm, and that absolutely shattered me, but I took it in a very different way than I would have like a year ago, because I know and I've realized that my grades really aren't my sole like identity, sort of, I guess. Like, I'm so much more than my grades. Like, that's all I really have to say, is that like everyone is so much more than their grades, and like those do not and will not ever define you. Because like, for example, like you have a personality, you are your own person, and that's something really important to know, that like if you don't do well in academics, that's fine. Not everyone does, and not everyone is meant to go into academia. Again, if not, the world would be bland. BLAND. Okay guys, next I'm going in with my concealer. I love the Too Faced Born the Wave concealer, by the way. Like, it's so full coverage. But let me just put her on, and then we'll do the next one as I am blending. Okay, it's on now. But number 6 is, you shouldn't care about what others think of you. Everyone's always gonna judge you, and that's probably like one of the biggest things that I've sadly had to learn, because I've always been like a people pleaser. Like, sorry guys, it's just who I am. I've always been this way, and I've always sort of tried to like appease my mother. It's the biggest thing, where I've just done things because my mom said. I've always said my life was very much for my mother, and everything I did was because of my mom. And that was like something like that, like I've right now been trying to sort of change in my own life, because my mom would judge a lot of the things I did. For example, if I wanted to dance in my room, my mom would sort of make fun of me for that, and I was like, girl. Or like my makeup look, she would be very critical of how I did my makeup. And like, no, and like I kind of like, now as I've moved out, I've been able to sort of become my own person and really just do things because I like them. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like even now I still get judged by like others who aren't my mom, and I kind of just have had to learn to let go of their judgments, because at the end of the day, the only person that matters in my life is me. And I should do things because I want to do them, and because it's what makes me the absolute most confident, most comfortable, and it's what makes me personally very happy. And I think that like that is like the most important thing to do, is do things because you want to, because no matter what, like humans are sort of designed to like judge others. And like, again, we all judge people. It's who we are, because for example, like we don't like their style, or like we just don't like something about them. Like, we're gonna judge, and it just doesn't matter. One, like, definitely don't judge people, guys. Like, that's rude. Like, I do it at times. Like, I'm gonna admit that a big judgment factor for me is people's political affiliations. Sorry, like, it's just who I am. But we're all going to judge people regardless. I'm going to be judged regardless. And it's more of a, do I want it to let it get to me? Do I want it at the end of the day to affect my mental health and my own well-being, or the way I do things? No. Anyways, as I do blush, we're going to move into the next one. Number 7 is, it's okay to be alone, and sometimes we need that. And this actually has to do with my New Year's resolution, with you guys saw a couple of weeks ago. This video is being published in February, so you would have seen it in January. But yeah, where I want to learn to spend more time alone. And one of my notes here is that I find it really difficult to be alone, and I always have. I like being around others. I am an extrovert at heart, guys, okay? Like, I love to be around people, and it's like I love being around others, okay? And but the thing is, I find it very difficult when I'm not around others to like find sort of like a purpose or things to do. And I feel very empty and I get very, very sad, which is not healthy. And I might be because of my mental health, I'm not gonna lie. But it's just something that I've always really struggled with, where I kind of feel like I have no purpose, sort of, if I'm not with others. Where like I feel like I shouldn't be here, sort of thing. Like, what's like really my purpose if I'm not around my friends and stuff? And like being alone is just such like a difficult thing for me, and it's why I tend to be a little bit codependent. And again, it's a bad habit that I have, but I am slowly becoming better at it. Like I'm starting to go on a lot more alone dates. Like, for example, like you guys saw a video a couple of weeks ago where like I went to like Starbucks alone, which was a very big step for me and did work alone, which to some people might not be a lot, but that's very big progress for me, because that's, again, not something that I've ever done. And being alone is okay, even if we feel like it might not be. Sorry, I'm putting on my powder. But like being alone is healthy, and learning to be alone is extremely healthy. Okay, ladies, now it's time to bronze the face up, which means I put on a lot of bronzer. I forget how pigmented this one is. But let's move on to number 8, which is belief in God isn't a one-way street, and it's okay to contemplate it. Religion, I don't really talk about religion that often, but to me, religion and my faith is something that's really, really important to me, and it's something I contemplated so much in high school, was my belief in God. Do I believe in God? Why do I believe in God? And a big reason that I contemplated it was, this started happening in grade 12 when I learned about Pascal's wager and why we believe in God. So at the time, I'm like, oh, like, why do I believe in God? I've always believed in God because, like, my family is Christian, I grew up Roman Catholic, I'm confirmed, da 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 da, right? But Pascal's wager kind of really forced me to actually question why I believe in God. And I really contemplated, like, is God real? Do I believe in heaven? Why do I follow Catholicism? Do I believe in the Catholic Church? Do I believe in the teachings and the fundamentals of the Catholic Church? That's always been a question of mine. And why do I believe is the biggest thing. And I did come to terms with it eventually. I do believe in God. And I believe in God because I just do. My relationship with God is extremely important to me. I try to pray to God whenever I remember. One of my resolutions this year was I want to become closer to my faith. And that doesn't only mean like going to church and stuff, but I like manifesting and things like that, and spirituality. I believe in a lot of things, and that's okay. But yeah, learning about God and actually questioning your relationship, I feel like is a good thing and isn't necessarily bad. Like, some people will say like you shouldn't question it, but like you shouldn't just blindly believe in things either. So next I'm gonna do my eyes. Yeah, we're gonna do my eyes, but I really want to use my REM Beauty palette because it has like some fun colors, and I never really do fun colors, so I kind of want to go in with, I think, this purple and like maybe this one. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Okay, I think I've got it. So I'm gonna go from blue and then transition to purple. And then I have my pink palette from Glossy A, this one. It's called Bluff. So I think we're gonna do that and sort of go from the outside in. Okay, so as I start doing my eyeshadow, I've never done my eyeshadow on screen. But let's go to number 9, is that your identity changes so much and it's okay. Nobody can tell you what you are. And this is specifically in terms of sexuality and gender. Guys, I've went through roller coasters. Like, trust me, like it's been a very up and down circle, and your identity is not in any way, shape, or form meant to be static. Oh my god, that's pigmented. Also, that fallout, does that look bonkers? Yeah, it does. Like, it's okay for you to change. And like, I feel like, especially in terms of sexuality, like, guys, for me, I thought I was a lesbian for the longest time, and like then I thought I was bi, but then I thought I was pan, and then it was a circle, and like I questioned it so much. And that's okay. And also gender. I thought I was just non-binary for the longest time, and that's changed a lot. Like, when I was in high school, I really didn't like people calling me she, but as I've grown older, I don't mind it anymore. And I'm like, that's why I changed my pronouns to be they she, because I went through like that whole like crisis and everything. But also, this point also comes in terms of like likes and dislikes. Because like, guys, the amount of like hyperfixations that I've gone through, it's also my ADHD, but like we all like inevitably change. Like, nobody can be the same forever, and some people change for the good and some for the bad, but you should always focus on changing yourself for the good. And yeah, sorry, this one was really all over the place. Back to interests. Like, I used to be so obsessed with K-pop, so obsessed, and now like I still listen to K-pop, like, don't get me wrong, but I'm not as obsessed as I used to be. Anyways, as I continue to do my eyeshadow, I'm gonna talk about the next one. Number 10 is that it's okay to have bad days and be sad. Not every day is going to be happy. It's just a part of life. That's literally what my entire life was like back last year. Like, I get very sad very easily. And again, I have depression, guys. Like, trust me. Like, I know. I've got problems. You don't have to tell me. Ooh, that is pigmented. But you're not going to be happy every day. And if someone tells you that they're happy every single day, they are absolutely lying to you, because not all of us can and will be happy every day, because we're not supposed to be. We're supposed to go through hardships. That's literally what like shapes us as people. It's like the sad times, and who we share it with at the end of the day is what's really, really important. We're meant to overcome sadness, and then we're happy again, but then we're angry. Like, again, like, we have emotions, and that's kind of like the beauty of being a human, is that we have so many emotions. Also, I realize this is giving bi flag. But that's sort of like the beauty of being a human, is that we have changing emotions, and that's okay. And it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly normal. Like, for example, like all of last week, I was super sad. I didn't want to get out of bed. But look at me this week. Out of bed, guys. I made it. I made it out. And I'm thriving again. Let's continue. Number 11. It's okay to fail, and it's a natural part of learning and growth. So, for me, one of my notes of this was, and how I sort of, I guess, learned that, was literally through first year university. Guys, that was humbling. I talk about first year so much, but first year was such a humbling experience, because it was hard, guys. Like, first year was not easy in any way, shape, or form. Like, that was a very difficult time, and like, I failed a lot. I was not getting the marks I wanted to. I wasn't doing as well as I was used to, like, back in high school, and like, that's okay. Like, again, like, that's humbled me. This year I started getting 60s and 70s, and that's okay. You know what? Because that doesn't define us. And like, this also goes for other things, where like, when I did gymnastics, I did not always place first. And at the time, I found it very, very, like, shocking. Like, what? I didn't place first? I thought I was good, though. But, like, no, girl, you're not meant to be good at everything. Okay, guys, this is the eye look. I think do I even have eyeliner, guys? I think I might. We're gonna try and do eyeliner. I'm gonna film it for you guys, but, like, I'm not gonna talk in any way, shape, or form. I'm scared. Yeah, I give up. I messed that up so bad. That failed so miserably. Please, guys, remind me to never do eyeliner again. Now, I'm literally gonna do my brows. But again, you guys know I can't do my brows on screen. So let's go to number 12. Number 12 is being able to take time and take care of yourself is so important. And sometimes you need to make yourself a priority. Truth, whenever I wrote this, like, girl, I was on something, definitely, but it is very true. I have a very bad habit of just sort of adhering to others and never myself, and like working towards like trying to make my friends happy and make them feel better, but like there are times where I've had to sadly take steps back, and I'm like, no, like I matter too. And like it's important to recognize the times where you matter, and also like doing things like self-care days, because like I've always been really bad at doing stuff like my skincare consistently and things, but like do things because you want to do them. Do them for yourself, queens. Okay guys, brows are done and we're going in with highlighter next. Oh, and we're going in with the green because again, fun and fresh. But number 13 is don't focus on the past. It doesn't define you, and you're so much more than who you were in the past. This girl, I just speak facts. Like again, like I used to like hyperfixate on like my past and like how like many mistakes I made, but also like, Leo, you were a child. Chill. You do not need to be reminiscing about those things because you are supposed to make mistakes. And that is completely okay. I also put on so much and it is so blinding and I love it. But yeah, focusing on the past doesn't ever get you anywhere. It's literally all about who you are now, and if you've learned from those mistakes, that girl, that's literally the most important part. Anyways, next is do things because you love them, not because it's what expected of you. So this is something that I've learned mostly because since moving out, because in like one of my biggest passions has always been theater. Theater has always been like something super important to me, but I never pursued theater or did theater after high school because my mom didn't want me to. And also like I just tend to do things because my mom wanted me to do them and stuff. Where like realistically, I sort of wish I had taken a gap year between high school and uni to sort of do my own little thing and didn't. But yeah, it's something that I've learned a lot since moving out, especially when it comes to like things like my style and my fashion, and like my mom always sort of dictated what I would wear, and she was the one to decide if I could wear that or not. And like I didn't really have as much freedom, and now I wear things that I like because I want to wear them and not because it's what's expected of me. Because we are our own people and 2023 is going to be our year. I let my setting spray sort of set and spray. But number 15 is don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. This has been a big one for me at the end of 2023. Post me moving out. Guys, post me moving out is so much better than when I lived back at home. But anyways, one of the biggest things that I've done is start pole dancing. And I love doing pole. Like literally, like pole is like, I've been so scared because I'm like scared to sort of be sexy in that sort of sense. And like it's been such a thing, but I've loved it. It's literally like I look forward to it like every single time. I love doing pole so much, and I'm so glad I started it. Literally so glad. And number 16, this is very specific to me and like my major, my program, but it's good to stay in touch with the news. But if it starts to impact your mental health, you should take a break from it. As a political science major, I need to be in the loop at all times, and I think it's important to be caught up with the news because again, if you're in tutorial and you don't know what's going on and someone asks, it's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. But also there is like the fact that like sometimes that can really negatively impact your mental health because like you're worrying about other people so much that you're not really taking the time to care for yourself, and sometimes it can very negatively impact your day. So one of the tips one of like my poli-sci professors gave me is to never check the news in the middle of the day or at night, because if you check it in I meant the morning. If you check it in the morning, you're gonna think about it all day, and if you check it at night, you're going to look at it, think about it as you sleep, and that is not healthy at all. So checking it in the middle of the day allows you breathing room because you're like, oh, well, I still have the rest of the day to go, and it's not before bed and it's not early in the morning, so it's not the first thing that's on your mind in the day. And sometimes just not checking the news can be healthy, and being like, you know what, today we're not gonna check the news. Okay, and then the next one is gonna be number 17, and it's okay to be alone with someone in a room not talking. Sometimes those are the best friendships, when the company is all you really need. And the biggest example of this in my life is that, like, I always felt like I had to go out and spend money. I had to, like, go out and, like, be with my friends, also using a different mascara for my bottom lashes. And, like, I felt like I needed to do that. But I realized that with, like, me and Maria and me and Miriam, like, I've never hung out with all of them together, but, like, as separate friendships, like, we can just be in a room together, scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through Instagram, playing Genshin, not talking. Those are literally some of my closest friendships, and I'm like, you don't need to spend money every time you go out with your friends, guys. Like, that's a reality. And if you feel like you do, those might not be good friendships. Glasses are back on for the lip combo, which means I can read again. This is so ironic because of the type of video I'm doing, because it's a get ready with me. I also feel like my eyes look so wonky. Do they look wonky in these glasses? I don't know, but this plays into the next one. Beauty and looks are not everything. Very ironic that this is what I'm talking about right now. I don't know how to feel about these glasses. Like, I'm insecure that my eyes look weird in them. Again, plays into this. But as young women on social media, we are told what we should look like. We are told we need to be wearing makeup all the time, that we need to have our nails done, lash extensions, this, that, and the other. And that's not healthy in any way, shape, or form. Hold on. Anyways, continuing. Social media is such a dangerous and unhealthy place where, like, us as women are constantly told what we should or shouldn't look like, what's pretty and what's not pretty, and it's really bad for, like, our own mental health. Like, you should not ever be comparing yourself to people on social media, because a lot of them do use Photoshop. A lot of them, remember, like, the Facetune era on Instagram? I sure do. And, like, we as women are so much more than just our looks. Those are not our only defining features. And, like, I get so insecure, especially with, like, my glasses recently, because my eyes tend to look smaller with my glasses on than off. And, like, there's nothing wrong with my eyes, realistically. But, again, social media and misogyny play a very big role into that. And that's when women start criticizing each other, and it's like, I find it disgusting. You should never criticize women in any way, shape, or form. But we are so much more than just our looks. We have personalities, we are people, and beauty and looks aren't everything. It truly is what's on the inside that matters. And if you're a good person on the inside, that's all that really matters. Now, as I brush my hair, we're going to go on to our final one, which is number 19. And it's okay to say you need help and reach out when you need it, especially when it comes to your mental health. That is something that I've always had a lot of trouble with, is asking for help. May it be with my mental health or with just needing help writing an essay. I didn't understand the assignment or something. But the biggest way that I learned this is that I actually reached out and asked for help with my mental health through the university. I now see a psychiatrist, I got a counselor, and I am getting a therapist. And that was a very big move for me, because I was very hesitant to. I'm always hesitant to ask for help, because I feel like as someone from an immigrant family, like, that's not something that we really do. You don't really ask for help, because asking for help sort of shows that you're weak, but you're not weak for asking for help. You are just a human, and nobody's perfect. And I need to make that, like, a very big thing in this entire video. None of us are perfect. None of us will ever be perfect. And that's fine. The only perfect person in this world is Jesus. Sorry, was that cringy? That was a little bit cringy, but that's true. None of us are perfect. I'm certainly not perfect. I am the furthest thing from perfect. But asking for help just means that we are strong enough to recognize that we're not okay in this moment and that we need someone to be there with us, whatever that may look like. Anyways, that does, however, mark the end of the video. I personally really hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you like the makeup look. Like, this is it. Like, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and let me know your opinions on anything I might have said today. Like, it might be other things that you want others to know in the comments and stuff like that. But this is honestly one of my favorite videos that I've filmed to date. I am about to go film another video, so look forward to that, ladies and gents. But that is gonna be the end of the video. I love you guys so much, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye.